Erykah Badu is finally revealing the truth behind Prince's death. And girl, you better get a chair for this because it's about to get really messy. Y'all remember that OD'ing excuse the police used to justify his death? Erykah is now calling all of it BS. Apparently, Prince knew he was going to be taken out and did everything he could to avoid it. He even went as far as staying away from elevators. Yep, you heard that right. But guess what? He still ended up dying in an elevator. The exact thing he told LA Reid he wanted to avoid. Jay-Z and his shady management company Roc Nation have also been allegedly linked to all this. Word on the street is, Prince's death was orchestrated by several industry executives to steal his money, especially after they found out he had not drafted any will for his $400 million estate. At the time of his death, it was reported that he died from a fentanyl OD. But with everything coming out now, people are speculating that there's more to the story than just OD. According to Prince's family, Prince did in fact used to fill himself up with, but it definitely wasn't fentanyl. He was mostly taking painkillers. However, someone in his team started sneaking in fentanyl into his prescriptions without his knowledge, and by the time he realized what was happening, he was hooked. Addiction psychiatrist Scott Bienenfeld said Prince didn't even know he was taking something else to begin with. The majority of my patients are pain patients, and someone gave them fentanyl as an add-on. You've taken OxyContin, now take this. Most of these musicians, trust me, don't know it's laced with fentanyl. In addition to this, authorities discovered that Dr. Michael T. Schulenberg allegedly prescribed a painkiller in someone else's name for Prince a week before he died. In doing so, Dr. Michael went against the Controlled Substances Act, but he only faced a $30,000 civil charge instead of getting arrested. Oh, but it gets worse from here. Aside from being given drugs that he never signed up to take, it was found by investigators that a good chunk of the fentanyl he was taking was counterfeit. Someone was deliberately swapping out the real ones he got from his doctor for counterfeit ones. But get this, even after the police found out about this, they still didn't make any arrest or even attempt to find out who was doing this. This was confirmed by the attorney for the state of Minnesota, Mark Mertz. He said the reason they didn't arrest anyone for this was because they didn't have sufficient evidence to make that arrest. Prince believed the pills he was taking were Vicodin. However, there is no reliable evidence showing how Prince obtained the counterfeit Vicodin containing fentanyl. The bottom line is that we simply do not have sufficient evidence to charge anyone with a crime related to Prince's death. I'm sorry, but isn't that the whole point of an investigation? To find out who did it? It's like these people just looked at the case, concluded that finding the culprit was going to be too much work, and just closed it instead of doing their jobs. And it didn't help that Prince's own family wasn't pushing for the case to be properly investigated. His sister Tyka Nelson was quoted saying, "You can charge 20,000 people and toss them in jail. Will that bring my brother back? It's not. It didn't matter if it was a knife or a gun or fentanyl. If it doesn't bring back my brother, it didn't matter." Girl, what? There's a real chance that someone deliberately took out your brother and this is your response? At this point, people were beginning to side-eye his family as suspects too. People started doing some digging, and that's when they found out something that definitely makes his family a suspect. Prince didn't have a will. Yes, girl. This man had millions in his name and didn't have a will. Not a single one. And remember what I said about him dying in an elevator, even though he never used to take elevators? On April 21st, 2016, medical personnel found him unresponsive inside an elevator. They proceeded to give him CPR in an attempt to revive him, but he was pronounced dead shortly after they arrived. While this might seem like a minor detail, music executive LA Reid appeared on CBS this morning to discuss how this event chilled him because of a conversation he had with Prince beforehand. One time, when I was with him, privately, he said, "You know what the elevator is, right?" I said, "No, what's the elevator?" He said, "Well, the elevator is the devil." It scared me. I don't like to talk like that, but he said that. So for me, it was really haunting when I read that he was found in an elevator. People believe that some shady industry executives were behind Prince's death because he refused to give up his catalog. And as a form of punishment, they decided to take him out while he was in the elevator, knowing well how much he hated the elevator, so they could break his spirit right before he died. What's worse than making a man die in the exact same place he said he hates? You see, prior to Prince's sudden death, everyone wanted a piece of his music catalog, and that included Jay-Z. When Jay-Z first launched Tidal, he deceived several artists into thinking that this was going to be the first streaming service that would compensate artists fairly. And considering the fact that Prince had just rapped back fighting Warner Brothers over his masters, he actually bought the BS Jay-Z was selling and joined in to support Tidal. He put his album Hit and Run Phase 1 on Tidal exclusively for 90 days before going on other platforms. But soon enough, he found out that Jay-Z was just like the rest when he sold Tidal and walked away with a reported $149 million. On April 16, 2016, Prince made his last social media post that said in the caption, "Just when you thought you were safe." And guess what? Just 6 days after this cryptic post, he was dead. Right after Prince died, Jay-Z put in a $40 million offer to his unreleased music and exclusively put it on Tidal, but Prince's family wasn't having it. He still went on to put Prince's already released music on Tidal anyway, without consent from his estate. And baby, they sued his greedy tail for it. Now, at the time all this was happening, Erykah didn't react to any of the mess surrounding Prince's death, even though she knew him very well behind the scenes. She only posted this photo of them on Instagram and captioned it, "That time Prince was your rhythm guitarist, then sent you the picture. The time Prince was so gracious to come to your club in the hood of South Dallas and play for 4 hours into the night. The time you recorded Today the Earth song at Paisley Park. All the times y'all shot pool and argued over religion. The time Prince got in your limo to tell you that Worldwide Underground wasn't finished yet and you felt away. LOL. The time Prince evolved and wouldn't sign Yo Mama's Dirty Mind album cover cause he said he wasn't into that no mo, and Yo Mama told him, well, you shouldn't have made it then, and you were embarrassed. The time Prince had a swear jar and you just put a $20 bill in it when you walk in. The time Prince and Larry Graham had you cornered in a Jehovah's Witness session. The time you sang I Wanna Be Your Lover on the 3rd grade talent show wearing a swim top and the teachers cut you short because it was inappropriate. And you will live forever in my cells. But don't let this tribute fool you because word on the street is Erykah believes Prince was taken out too. However, she never made these suspicions public because she has no way of actually proving it. But with everything coming out now and people digging out the inconsistencies in his death, it's not going to be long before Erykah and everyone else who has something to say finally feels safe enough to talk. In the meantime, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said, "I personally don't think or believe that Prince was on any especially when he was always fit and very together for his interviews." Another person said, "Prince thought he was taking hydrocodone. The bottles were legit and said Watson. Whoever gave him those bottles killed him. I have strong suspicions. Sad no one could be charged, like happened in Matthew Perry's case. And artists are still benefiting from Prince's fight for artists' rights. People still mock him during that period, but he was really doing something important. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Erykah allegedly bringing up the shady facts of Prince's death? And do you really think Prince wasn't aware of the drugs he was taking? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other mess.